let's start off with a laugh this morning. Do you guys remember Reno 911?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Well, it's back and it's on Quibi, and one of its stars, Thomas Lennon, is as crazy as ever.
You just said that the squirrels were singing.
Not words! They're not making words! I didn't say they were making words!
Jim, go to Prim.
Yeah, I'll go to...
I think we all could use a break.
I'll go to Prim.
Oh, I hear him singing.
See?
Thomas, where do you come up with this stuff? A squirrel in the vent singing?
Well, you know, that one of the really fun things about the Reno show is there's usually an outline for a lot of the scenes. You know, like we'll have we'll generally know like the sort of the general gist of things. But when we do those briefings in the morning meetings, I never tell anyone what I'm going to say ever.
What is it like taking Reno 911 to Quibi? Because these are short episodes, right? 10 minutes or less.
Not only that, we started doing episodes and they were like in the sort of 8-minute range. And then they've ended up to be around like 6.5 minutes. They're like 6.5, 7 minutes. But the fun thing is there's 25 of them.
You have your uniform on.
Oh, here's the strange thing. I was trying to be done. I have to shoot some TikTok videos to promote the new season of Reno 911. And I was promising myself I was going to be done and out of the uniform before this interview. I was like, get out of the uniform because you look like an idiot. So no, but I am in the whole thing.
Oh, wow. I think that looks great. Well, you know, you always wonder what it looks like on the bottom with these Zoom videos, right? Everyone's dressed up top. And...
I've been learning a lot about that on the Zoom videos, but also the white boots are far away, but I'm just doing this today. So wait.
I love it. And speaking of law enforcement, like, do you have it seems like it's a topic that you like. I want to talk about your book series, right? And I wrote down the name because I was like, I'm going to get it right. Yeah, Ronan Boyle and the Swamp of Certain Death. So this is like a young teen magical creature police person.
You could not have described it better. That's exactly what it is. So the Ronan Boyle series, there's 2 of them now that I wrote, and it's about a teenage boy in Galway, Ireland, and he's kind of a nervous, kind of weird little kid, but he happens to fit through a hole that they need in this castle to catch a leprechaun, and they can't get, and no one else will fit through. So he ends up becoming recruited for the leprechaun police force. And so it's a little bit of Harry Potter. It's a little bit of like Douglas Adams, Hitchhikers. It's like silly fantasy novel for either for silly adults or very smart, funny kids is I hope what they're for. And I'm working on the 3rd one right now.
Awesome. And speaking of silly adults, before you go, you know, I've got to talk about, I'm obsessed with Tiger King, Joe Exotic. Your impression on the late, where did that come from?
So what happened was I was looking around on the internet, and people kept pinging me in, I guess Dax Shepard, who was a friend of mine, had posted himself as Tiger King, and so many people were like, no, you got to go with Thomas Lennon, go with Thomas Lennon. And at the time, I hadn't seen the Tiger King. So I'm like, is this some cool guy that maybe I seem like? And then I watched it, I was like, oh no, he's not a cool guy. A, and B, I do seem like him. So that was one of those moments where you're like, oh no, that's a perfect fit. So
you scared yourself a little bit because it was really good. It was good.
It lives very close to my own. Just there's something about Joe Exotic that lives real close to me, you know. It's just like a little nudge. If I just got a tiny little nudge, I'd be right over there. Joe Exotic world.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait for people to see this. They're gonna love this so much. Thomas, thank you so much. We're gonna check out Reno 911 on Quibi. And if you haven't seen his Tiger King impression, you gotta see it.
I apologize for being in the outfit. I promised I was gonna be done by the time. You look so beautiful and you look great, and I'm like really sweaty in the shorts, and well, you know what? It's part of the process.
We're working from home.
Work from home.